Okay, so my favorite teacher of all time, everybody knows if you ever heard me talk, was Sister Beatrice, because she could smell good. And I didn't know what was under her habit in first grade in 1960. So what I used to do was, I'd ask her to tie my shoe. And then when she would come down to tie my shoe, I would lean in and smell her hair. Because she smelled so good. She smelled like my brother's bottom, you know, when my mother did the talcum. I was like, she smells good. And she was a tomboy, and she played ball with us. And I loved her. And I loved school. I really was one of those weird kids. Because it was tied in the beginning of the football season. And, you know, I couldn't separate one from the other. If I had to go back to school, at least I had football, and I liked school. Then I had Sister Mercedes in 8th grade. See, I'm on a tangent. And she had my number. And anybody here from my Ellen? Was she good? Yeah. But, do you remember my bookcase in the back of the room? Yes. And then she let me put knickknacks on it, and then I brought in a flower and a doily. Remember? I had a vase. So what I did was I took my mother threw away our bath mat. And she sees me sneaking it out of the house. She doesn't know what the hell I'm doing. And I go, well, we're having a play about cowboys and Indians. And I'm going to use that for my saddle. Well, what I did was I brought it into the classroom and I put it next to my desk because my bookcase needed something to go with it. I was accessorizing. So Sister Mercedes, she comes down the aisle and her eyes start twitching like that bald guy with Laurel and Hardy. Remember the old Scotchman? You give the one eye. So her eye was twitching, and I knew that after a certain number of twitches, the hand would come up, and it never reached that, and she just walked away. And I realized I had a partner in crime, and that was Sister Mercedes. At LaSalle, and he's in my book, I had nemesises. I didn't have friends. I had too many teachers that had Masters of Science rings. And what they would do is they would allow gravity to take care of punishing me. They would put the hand somewhere between 2 and 3 feet over my head and just let the hand come down and fall. And when you get hit on the center of the top of your head, there's nothing you really can do about it. I mean, that's like the soft spot when you're a baby that they always tell the mothers to protect. But 2 nemesis, Brother Brendan Moore, he taught me to enjoy literature. And actually 3, Brother James as well. And Rudy's here from LaSalle. So, and Jimmy, you 2 guys can speak to it. I mean, these guys hit us. They enjoyed hitting us, and then they went into the teacher's room and they would talk about who they whacked that day. And my name came up a lot. You know, in grammar school, and I'm in touch with it again, I had this guy, Kevin Murphy, and he was in our class for about 4 years. And the thing I liked about him is he got more trouble than I did, and then when he left class, I moved up to being the teacher's target, and I didn't like that. But while all this is going on, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot at St. Stephen's. Brendan Moore and Pat Cullinan, who did about 17 photographs in this book, because he took 17,000 photographs of our 4 years in high school. And I found these online one evening at work, and I stayed to 3 in the morning and did 4 20-ounce Diet Cokes. Looking at myself grow up from 14 to 18 with my friends Rudy and my friend Jim here. And it was amazing, and it is amazing. We've got this record of our 4 years in high school, and I mean, we're doing everything. It's track, it's alumni, it's good, the auxiliaries, our posters in the classroom, our heads down, studying, and that's high school. Then I get to Hunter College, and probably in my sophomore year, I take my first class with Professor Robert White. And on the first day of class, before I realized he was brilliant, I found out he was nuts. He goes, I'm going to show you the difference between a werewolf, and a vampire. Would you do me a favor? Would you at least show me the face so I can make it? Come on! Come on! Do the werewolf. I mean, in front of 45 sophomores at Hunter with 16,000 matriculating students, this guy had the highest marks for student approval, and you learned. He would give you 5 minutes of this, and then it'd be Roman and Greek civilization, and then we read Lawrence, D.H. Lawrence, because we did Dionysian versus Apollonian, and Lawrence. I'm trying to. We read Death in Venice. Death in Venice. You're a tremendous teacher, and you were such a warm person. You knew it when I saw you for the first time in 35 years, about 3 years ago. I got a crush on you. I got a crush. Want to go to movies? You know, well, your book was about the movies. When's your book gonna get done? And no, because you told me about 3 or 4 chapters. I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read Adam Wade's book next year. He shared a section with me a couple of months ago. You think the guy's a good storyteller? Michelle Carlo's got her own show coming up. I'm very lucky.